like them.
Hey guys, welcome back to a live episode of Nerds It Around. Yes, you just saw the Kickstarter for the Ascendant. We have the link in the description, so we're just giving those guys a shout out because again, they got some push rewards. We're gonna go over those in a second. But I'm your host Sebastian.
That's your boy Law.
And your boy Tone from across the hall.
And yes, so tonight we are talking about The Mandalorian. Actually, it's a recap episode. So Tone, bring us in with spoilers real quick, please.
Of course, as we discuss all spoilers, that means that Tony Stark has died.
Yes, exactly. So
no excuses. You guys got your warning.
Yes.
So pretty much, so we're going to be talking about The Mandalorian. We're going to go into a nice little recap of the first two episodes. Nerds Are Around will now be live on Tuesdays with recorded episodes on Fridays. Quick housekeeping right there for you guys. But first up, as you saw, we showed the Ascendant Kickstarter video. So one of our guests tonight, who's going to be talking about The Mandalorian with us, we want you to give it up for the one, the only, Alexander Sapountzis.
Hey!
Hello.
What's going on?
I can share this thing right now on my feed, so
I feel like I haven't seen you, heard from you in so long.
It's been a long time, dude.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, like a couple of days. No.
So Alex, before we bring on our next guest, please, as it was a plug in the beginning for the Ascendant, please go over everything right now for everyone who's listening about the Ascendant currently right now, what you guys are doing with the Kickstarter.
Yeah. So first of all, I want to thank everybody in this group just because of what you guys have done for us. Thank you very much. And yeah, we got 100% on one day. And then we started plateauing because I guess
so wild. Like
Yeah.
that's still
it was amazing.
Fantastic.
It was amazing. And then like I guess somewhere on like early first week of November there was like something with these two old guys. I don't know what the hell was going on, and everything just kind of plateaued. So we're trying to pick up the steam because now we funded issue 4. Issue 4 is done. I actually just packaged a review copy that I might be giving out. But we want to do issue 5. We want to finish the series eventually with issue 7. So the more traction we can get, the better. One thing we're doing too, just because it's November and this Friday is Friday the 13th. What we're gonna do is anybody who's backed us from this point on until Friday gets a free comic. We're not gonna say what it is, but definitely if you haven't backed us now, back us. If you've already backed us, definitely throw us some more money. You'll get issue 5 as well as issue 4, and you might get you will get a free book.
Yeah, just sweetening in the pot right here. Like
you know what it is? We've got all this stuff. We can't go out to shows. We want to just give it out to people.
Yeah,
He's looking to give you the garage, guys.
For real. And especially like our first stretch goal is we're giving away some cool stickers. And we're talking about new variant covers. So we haven't put it up yet, but we're going to be asking the community which variant covers you want. I was considering a few ideas for variant covers that I personally would draw. So if anybody's interested in something from me, hit us up. You'll get something really interesting. We were even thinking like a Damn Heroes type of thing. So if you're a fan of Damn Heroes, you could get potentially a Damn Heroes variant.
So we're gonna go.
It's law.
So we're gonna touch.
Yeah.
Sorry. So we're going to touch back up on that because, again, the link is there in the description, guys. Make sure you check out the Ascendant. Our next guest, because we don't want to keep him waiting in the back room anywhere with us, because, again, we want everyone to get into The Mandalorian right now because The Mandalorian, the Ascendant, and also, too, what dropped was this album that this man put together called The Agenda.
Yes.
Let's give it up for Lu-Cyph.
Yo, what's going on, guys?
What's going on?
Hey, how's everybody?
Chilling, man.
I
Good to
remember
see you.
last time we saw you, I believe you were moving, right?
Yeah, we were. I was packing up the studio and everything. It was wild. Oh man,
That
Yeah.
box is like these two know of.
Yes, that box's life was real.
welcome to Jersey, gentlemen. Welcome to Jersey.
Yes.
They made Jersey outnumbers Bronx on this call, just
it's
to let you know.
wild. I was just
I
gonna say,
know.
I'm like,
Wait, I can't believe I'm actually just rooting for Jersey now. Damn. I've been here too long.
Never thought that would happen.
Listen, you got me here saying that like we get some pretty solid pizza, and like I've only been here for about 2 days, but the pizza that I get in my area is really good.
Yeah, that is the one saving grace of Jersey. You can get some decent pizza and bagels. So
So Lou, Before we get into the episode about the Mandalorian, you dropped the agenda 2020. How has that been? Tell us more about the agenda. And for everyone watching, you can actually get the links in the description. Lou,
Yes.
go ahead.
So I dropped the agenda. I'd say right at the beginning of the pandemic. I just had a bunch of songs sitting there, and I was just like, listen, what better to do than release music for people to listen to while they're all sitting there at home. So the agenda, like I said, I go by Lu-Cyph. You can find it on Spotify, iTunes, everything. Lu-Cyph, Lu with the hyphen and Cyph. Find me on Instagram, obviously, Lu-Cyph NY. I still rep the NY, even though I now live in New Jersey. People try to play me on that, but I'm just like, bro, the spirit's still there. Don't try and play me. All right. It was an exciting project. I worked with Vital Signs, who is a great producer from Brooklyn. He actually worked on the Wu-Tang Mice of Men documentary soundtrack. So luckily I have him in my corner, always throwing me stuff so I can just kind of play with it as I see fit. This album was really it was cool, kind of relaxed, grown hip hop with a little bit of a jazz feel to it and a little bit of I'd say a step back into the 90s a little bit without being too boom bap. I like to sing a little bit and, give somebody a little head bop. That's really what I'm about. While, while you're an adult handling your business, not of the new music doesn't really have that. So I'm trying to fill that void for those of us who love hip hop and really want to be able to, experience it in the everyday lives that we have. So, yeah, man. Thank you guys so much for coming on.
Thank you for coming on, bro.
By the way, that intro was epic.
That's the Kickstarter.
Right?
I hit my hat on the mic. It was bad.
For anyone who wants to know what Lou is talking about, go ahead, check out the Kickstarter in the description for the Ascendant. And also, too, in the description is the links to Lou's album, The Agenda. Check them both out. But now we're going to get into the meat and bones of this, of what you guys have come for, which is the Mandalorian. We are now in season 2. Episode 1 and 2 have dropped. How have you guys been feeling with the opening of the season?
Dude.
Oh man,
Satisfying.
Pedro Pascal's back.
Yo,
It is so achy. Like I can't imagine the back pain, the aspirins.
Yo, get this man some icy hot
To
get
take.
this man like
You had the entire Star Wars fucking live action franchise on this man's back. Like
It's power armor, though, so he can handle it.
almost
He can
gonna
handle
crush him like his head got crushed in Game of Thrones. Like
yo, bro.
That's why he got the helmet.
Seriously.
Well, I love how the Mandalorian opening sets the tone, just like similar like season 1, how we got that opening. Season 2, again, no shit's given. The Mandalorian did his shit. How did you guys feel about this opening?
Yo, like the fact that the child just knows now, like he just looks and goes, "Oh, okay."
He's like,
And closes
it's
himself
about to
in.
go down.
Yo,
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh, Dad is about to go to work."
Yeah, this relationship that they have that's blossoming is like unbelievable. I think it adds so much more to it, even though he doesn't even say a word. And Mandalorian barely says a word. It's like we came here, we're chopping meat. Okay, Daddy, I'm gonna go. I'll be in the playpen.
Yeah.
Am
Am I the only person who's ever read Lone Wolf and Cub or watched Shogun Assassin?
I know Shogun Assassin.
That's exactly what this is. This is Shogun Assassin in Star Wars. So for me, I'm like, I was right in it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna write that down.
I wouldn't be surprised if like in the next episode, like Jizza was like doing a soundtrack or something.
Yo, I would lose my mind. But with Jon Favreau, you can't not expect it. Like,
He can just pull him up.
it's a very real possibility. He's been fucking aces.
Yeah.
But it's just, there was just this tone, and again, it sets the tone. It has that Western feel. Yes, I love that the Shogun Assassin feels. No fucks given. Rest in peace, John Leguizamo, because shout out because that's who he played was Gorkesh.
Yeah.
It was like it's just I think we saw some foreshadowing when you saw the red eyes just in that whole like shadows right there. I was like, oh,
It was so funny because like I was looking at the IMDb and I was like, it like took me like way longer than it should have, and I was so like excited and happy, but then I was like, oh no.
That show just gets so many one-off cameos and just like just doing whatever. You know, like we have the stormtroopers from last season. We have Leguizamo this season. You know, just all the random celebrities that just want to be in a Star Wars thing.
In a good Star Wars thing.
In a good Star Wars thing, yes.
No, and what's funny with Leguizamo, like I didn't even knowing he was in it, I couldn't recognize him.
Yeah,
it was like I'm like sitting there listening, like I don't hear it. Like Mark Hamill, I heard after,
right?
But him, even knowing it was him, I'm like that doesn't sound like him. I mean, that just shows that like Leguizamo right there. But yeah,
well, yeah. I mean, it's like when he played the character from Spawn, right? You could see it was him, right? He had the whole the mouth thing that he does, and then I didn't even know until you guys told me that because I heard the voice. And I was just like, I know that voice. I know that voice. I know that voice because I grew up idolizing him.
Exactly.
And thank you guys for letting me know because I didn't even realize that was him.
Well, I mean, it's straight up like House of Buggin', you know? So.
Well, it shows that in the onset too, the practical effects that have gone into this show, they don't really depend too much on the CGI or everything. There's a lot of practical effects that has gone into the creatures, the different races, and you see that in both episode 1 and 2, and the same thing in season 1. And that shows you like all that makeup and everything that they did for Gork Cash. It's like, and then you can't really tell it was John Leguizamo, but that's John Leguizamo. Yeah. I was like, holy shit! I'm blown away.
That's that Disney money though. Yeah. I mean, like, we think it's seamless to go from practical to
that's successful Disney money.
Yeah.
Like, we're just
I love it. Toad's not gonna let this up. He's gonna be on this all show.
100% true.
But we also get some Easter eggs because now we go back to Tatooine.
Yeah,
the original home plate. Yep.
Could leave Tatooine. There's so many goddamn planets.
Even outside of Tatooine.
Like if I had a nickel for every time Tatooine showed up, I'd be rich.
You'd have Star Wars money.
Yeah, always there. But yes, we do go back to Tatooine, and Tatooine is interesting just because we know that Boba Fett was casted. So I was interested to see how we're going to do it. Now, obviously, we get to that point at the end of that episode, which was an amazing fucking reveal.
Well, we gotta wait. We
gotta wait for it. We haven't even there yet.
I already gave the warning.
Yo, we're on episode 2, but that's episode 1. There's no spoiler warning. It already happened.
So all right. First of all, just getting back to Tatooine, what was the reaction just going like, all right, he's going to track down another Mandalorian, seeing the suit and being like, that
was some ADD right off the bat. It's like, I care nothing about anything else.
Yeah.
I'll do whatever for the suit.
So I'm gonna say one thing, though. Like, for me, watching season 1, the way the Mandalorian moved, this is going to be a weird thing, though. It always reminded me the way he moved of Timothy Oliphant in Justified. The way the Mandalorian walked was very similar to me to that. And for whatever reason, like I always just assumed it was Timothy Oliphant, knowing it's Pedro Pascal. And for me, like seeing Timothy walk in episode 1, I was like, full circle right there. But then with that layer of Deadwood, like, him in the weak way, I was like, holy shit.
Which is a big shout out to that, and that's a callback to Deadwood for the character that he played, because in The Mandalorian he plays a character called the Marshal.
Yeah.
But in Deadwood he was the sheriff. So it's like it's kind of like that whole thing there. So I just thought it was perfect casting for Timothy Oliphant, and I loved him as Marshall.
He's such a good, highly underrated actor too.
Oh no, he's great. Yeah,
he's so good.
Also, too.
In the show in Santa Clarita Diet that got canceled on Netflix.
Yeah,
he was really funny in there too.
Also, too, I want to start. I want to start the hashtag wish Ripley because that's what's going around right now. Is that this chick is if it's Ripley if you order her on Wish, the mechanic.
Wow.
Yo, I feel bad because I love Amy Sedaris.
No, she's awesome. It's just funny when I saw that meme. It just big
She's
shout
my
out to
people.
her character is badass too in there when she was like, "Oh, the kid, like you brought back the kid," and she's like hugging him and all that.
They did a lot of like I don't know if it's direct callbacks or Easter eggs or like little subtle nods, but even her like her poker game is essentially that nod to like Solo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not just Solo, but also to like the Star Wars. Like I feel like this season they're really saying we're pulling from the extended universe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're throwing in deep cuts, like even to the stuff that's considered legends. The cuts to that, which I respect because
like the crate dragon, like that call to the crate dragon that we see, like that's literally from the Knights of the Old Republic game.
Not just Knights, but it's also been in like a lot like Tales of Jabba's Palace.
Yeah.
Oh, like I have like right over there like the whole stack of books that are no longer canon, but I like that they're.
Are you thinking that they're gonna, because I know that they've like removed a lot of stuff from what is canon and they're slowly bringing in what they feel like they want to bring in. Do you think that they're going to like almost retcon a lot of stuff, but like bring everything back? Like let's say like they took out 100% of stuff and they bring back 55% with new flavor text.
Yeah, I think they're gonna just pick and choose what they want that fits into the narrative that they've already established. I personally, especially seeing Boba Fett in this, I would love if they even took a fraction of the Karen Traviss Imperial Commando series. Like that would just make my heart sing just hearing that, because that deviation is what killed the Clone Wars for me. When they got to the Mandalorians and they didn't do that, I was like, I'm done with this show. But and that's what like my theory is like. I don't think that's Boba Fett we saw. I think Tamara Morrison was possibly playing a different clone trooper. But that's my theory.
We're not gonna know yet because we're gonna get into that in a second because
just wanted to get
it is some foreshadowing that we have saw about Boba Fett, but with the armor and then the reveal at the end. But I want to save that nugget for the end. But I do want to get into something that I saw that was interesting was that Mando knows how to speak. Yeah, we lost Lou. He's coming back. Mando knows how to speak Tuscan Raider, and what I found was interesting is that they also casted someone to help with sign language to kind of show that too and create that language, which also it shows in episode 2, which we'll get into that as well. But I thought that was awesome with that whole thing with speaking with the Tuscan Raider, which shows his versatility and then the whole language creation.
Because like that to me is like this is the closest we're getting in Star Wars now to like Klingon or Dothraki, where there's a real fleshed out culture. I mean, outside of the Mandalorians in the books, this is the one we've seen on screen where they have a language, they have a culture, and if you can figure out those hand symbols, you could probably understand what they're saying.
Right.
Yeah. And I think, and I think he did a little bit of it last season, but I think it's just great because like we've always seen just Tuscan Raiders as just cannon fodder, just indigenous people to just, in
the movies and stuff, but in the comics, they really don't forget there's Darth Kriyat in like the future series. He's a Sith Lord who was raised by Tuscans. So that's that's another thing where I think they're gonna be pulling some things out. They're gonna be like, okay, these guys have a culture. Let's take that culture. They're probably not gonna do the same thing they did in the comics, but the fact that they're even touching on that is awesome.
Yeah,
no, and I think it's good because we're seeing the fleshing out of characters. We're seeing the fleshing out of a universe in this one show, and we got a lot of the Tuscan Raiders, which I also want to go back on that too. Was when we kind of saw that alliance between the Tuscan Raiders and the village. It's just that there was a little bit of what we would call racial tension there because they don't speak Tuscan, they think that they're different, and they were like, well, no, you rated R. So there was like a whole like miscommunication there because they can't speak to each other. And he was like, listen, you guys need to calm down, you need to work together, you have a common enemy, why are you fighting each other?
It also made like that so much sense for him to speak multiple languages because as per his job description, essentially, like that's how he would need to get information. And like the fact that like he did it where it didn't feel forced, you know what I mean? Where it was like, oh, you just all of a sudden can speak this language. Nah, like he would be one of those people who knows this language and knew immediately like what he was asking when he was like, you guys need to work together in order to beat this thing. Like, and it was a tall order because he knew like that kind of tension, like where they're not very trusting people themselves, you know?
Well, don't forget too, like this, think about the similarities between the Tuscans and the Mandalorians. The face coverings, the warrior culture, you know, he's probably got more in common with them than the villagers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But like I was interested like how they pull that from real history, from like American history, you know?
And I think they probably drew on some fact of like in history that racial tensions happen like that. And they were like, you know, we got to bring a little bit of reality in this because it makes the characters more believable. And I kind of like that because, again, it kind of flushed out the Tuscan Raiders. They're not just raiding you because they're raiding you. They actually are people with the language and everything. And like, oh, no, you're taking stuff from us. It's because there's just no understanding between the different races.
And they're the native. They're the natives of Tatooine. I wouldn't be surprised if that's why we're back on Tatooine. They're going to talk about, like, I mean, well, we're not completely back on it, but I wouldn't be surprised if they bring that up in the future series. It's like, this is what Tatooine used to be like, maybe.
Yeah. And that it's kind of like
other than the Obi-Wan show, what else are they trying to do with the extended?
They've already because I wanted to get into it. They've already signed on to do a Boba Fett spin-off.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure. I was gonna say I wasn't sure because they kept bringing it up and then dropping it, bringing it up and dropping it.
I think they already
we have
knew
that.
because how people are gonna react.
And we've got the new trilogy movie that's being done by he directed 7. He directed 8. I forgot his name.
David Fincher. Oh wait.
No, he directed
episode 8.
Rian Johnson.
Right? Yeah. Ryan Johnson. He's gonna get his own trilogy.
Nice.
You know, I mean, honestly, when it comes to like the expanded universe, I know like anything after Jedi is pretty much may or may not, probably not gonna happen because there's just so much that happened in the books. But I'm like fair game for everything in the past. You know, we're getting the new book series, but as long as I eventually get some sort of like rule of two, Darth. Darth Bane.
That'd be great.
Hello.
Sorry about that, guys.
It happens.
Oh, good, man.
It's all good.
And Darth Bane is canon.
Yeah, no, I know Darth Bane is canon. Like, but that trilogy is like my favorite. Darth Bane and Darth Plagueis are my favorite Star Wars books.
And isn't Revan now canon too?
Oh,
Revan is canon too. Yeah.
Yes, Revan is canon.
I want to bring attention to the unlucky raider that had to go feed the dragon.
Yo, so bad, man. Like someone had to do it, but it was, oh man, that was rough.
That's
the definition of that's rough, buddy.
We would name him Paul for the time being.
The Nerf
Poor Paul.
One for the team.
And I was like, oh my god, it's funny that the dragon went straight for him, not even the
when you got cut out, we'll talk about the Tuscan Raiders. What was your feeling with the Tuscan Raiders when they came in and everything and the language talking and all that?
Well, I don't really know what the background was in terms of like Mandalorian being able to communicate with them. And then I was like, oh, what? Oh, they know each other? And then that whole thing started happening. And I was just like, oh, wait, now you got a team. Mando, just quarterback this and everybody's going to be all right. All right? I just need you. XO over here. Everybody's going to be okay.
Full support.
Yeah. I was all with it. I mean, I always love when I see movies where somebody who has the unlikely language that the other person catches up on, they're like, oh, where do you speak that? And I'm like, yeah, come on. No. So I always love that.
I've been around.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just like, oh, really, dog? So I thought that was cool. I also kind of like the blooper side of things where it's just like, okay, we tried one, let's go with another idea. It's like, I think the dragon knows what's up. So I thought it was dope.
Yeah. But that dragon, what was it? It was in what hole was it in? I forget the creature's name. And again, that's a callback. Snarlax, which is a creature that ate Boba Fett, which again goes back to the whole thing about Boba Fett.
Got
What I thought was interesting too is like they're really dropping a lot of subtle hints, and they were talking like what can kill a Sarlacc, something they can eat the Sarlacc, but then they were also linking to the fact that the Empire is gone and something came to fill the vacuum, and I think that's an important hint. Something took out the Empire, the New Republic, so something came in to fill the vacuum. Same thing with the Sarlacc and the Kree Dragon, and I got a feeling they're setting it up for like the big bad for this season is something that's filling a vacuum.
Well, what's his face is still the kind of like the big bad. I mean, he's being a big bad on the boys, and now he's a big bad on Star Wars.
Oh my god, damn it, Giancarlo.
Wait, with the Darksaber? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Like,
He's awesome. I love him.
he could be a bad guy any day. And I just like, yeah, that's valid. Like, I still love you for it.
Mm-hmm. It's even weirder seeing him do a good guy. I can't remember the last time I've seen him do a good guy though.
He was the magic mirror in
Shrek?
in Once Upon a Time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Once upon a time.
That's right. Damn.
Yeah.
So
Jen Esposito.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he was in the show Evolve or Revolution that got canceled after 2 seasons, where he was on the bad guy side, and then he switched to the Revolution side.
I think I only caught one episode of that. Yeah.
I enjoyed it a lot, but they canceled early.
Yeah.
But before we get into the final episode review, the reveal at the end of the episode, I want to give a shout out to that callback that they did with the Marshal's character when the Mando hit the backpack and then you saw it going out of control, which is going back to Return of the Jedi when Boba Fett's backpack was cut and it went out of control. I was like, oh, that's just fan service right there.
I didn't write that. That wasn't me.
Dude, I was so hyped that like all of like Mando's all of Boba's equipment like still worked for the most part. I was like,
I guess he even replaced the rocket because you saw he in the flash. Yeah.
Well, someone pointed out that what happened is if you look at the backpack where they said either Han Solo or Luke, I forget who it was that cut the back of the backpack.
It was Han.
It was Han. So they show that it if you look closely, it looks like it was mended.
Yeah, they have like a little plate welded. But I'm talking about the rocket.
Yeah.
Because in the flashback he launched the rocket, but it's back for them to hit against the Great Dragon. So I guess either he went
gotta hook up with some missiles or something.
Yeah, hashtag Jawas are from the Bronx. Let's be real.
Yo. And then
we
established that last year.
Oh my god, you just gave me a really cool idea for like Jawas and
yeah, you need to have Jawas. You need to put a Honda Civic and you got to put up the symbol box. That's what you need to do.
So,
like,
oh my god, no,
it's not wrong. Like,
that's what they would do.
Anyone in the comments, prove us wrong. Jawas are from the Bronx 100%.
Yeah, they'll jack your car. Like, they were the ones stealing radios in the 90s. Like, that was Jawas.
Yo, whenever I've run a Star Wars game, that if we're on Tatooine, that's the one you got to watch out for. So,
yeah.
Fucking Jawas.
And then there was also I don't know how accurate it was, but I was reading that some people were saying that the speeder, which was a pod racer, would look like Anakin's pod racer.
Really? It wasn't Anakin's directly, but it was very similar to that. It may have been like
it might have been
pieces of
variation.
Yeah.
That I did notice, and I wasn't sure if it was a direct callback or it just happened to be a coincidence. But with them, it probably wouldn't be a coincidence.
Because I think Anakin's was yellow and this was red.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it also had like the two fin thing. I don't know. Yeah, it was similar though. It was definitely similar.
Now let's get into the reveal at the end because we get actor Mr. Morrison, aka Boba Fett, aka Clone Troopers, aka Jango Fett, made his
daddy.
Oh,
everything. That man is everything essentially.
I love him. Yeah, like even he is like one of the other good parts of like barbed wire.
How did you all feel with that reveal? I want to get everyone's reaction when he came at the end.
Oh, I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it.
Same thing, waiting for it. Like, because when we got the tease with the Marshal coming up, and then you see that it's Timothy, and you're like, well, that's not Boba Fett. Yeah. He's also too skinny to be Boba Fett.
Yeah.
But when we get the end, you see this person turning around, like, There you are.
Yeah.
There you are.
And I was wondering if they're how they were going to handle it too, and I like how it worked.
What I'm curious is Boba Fett, who showed up at the end of that episode when they were back in Tatooine in season 1. You guys remember when they went out
with the Spurs and Ming-Na? Yeah,
and like you see like a shadow figure.
Oh,
pick up the dead body of Agent May.
And there was like another thing is like when they were sitting on the fire with the Raiders, there's one Raider who was like kind of sitting away. That might have been him too.
Yeah, because he does have the Tuscan Raider stuff on his back.
Oh, I didn't catch any of that. I didn't even catch the reveal at the end. I'll be honest. I was like, yo, I gotta go. I was like, I missed that one. Okay, wow. I'm watching both of them again. Yeah, that's it.
I will admit, I did watch the first one twice because my wife wanted to watch it, so we watched it together.
See, yeah, I
gotta do that. I had to explain stuff to her.
I was honestly looking for May to show back up again because last we left her, she was in the desert, right?
Yeah. And that shadow walked up to her,
right? So I was like,
you just made me think of something. You know how like at the end of season 1, Mando basically puts together his own little band of Avengers.
Yeah,
I'm wondering if Boba's doing his own thing like that.
He's the Nick Fury at the end of the episode.
Hold on. Right there. What's the time? If this is in fact Boba, like he survived the Sarlacc pit,
which I'm not completely sure of, but
I'm not sold. But if it is the case, what's the time difference between then and now?
They said the Mando season 1 was I think 5 years after Jedi.
Yeah.
So Boba would have been in the Sarlacc pit for less than X amount of time because the Sarlacc pit kills you very slowly.
Yeah, and like who knows how long it took him to get out if he did get out, and how long he's been living with the Tuscans.
Yeah, or maybe the Crate Dragon ate that same Sarlacc pit, and that's how he got out.
Well, that's one theory, but I really think that is a clone trooper. I really think that's a clone trooper.
But when's I'm trying to think. Do we still have clone troopers that far?
Yeah.
Well,
that's one thing they've never answered because like in the pre-Disney expanded universe, as the clone troopers were thinning out, they started recruiting people.
Right.
Also too, we may get more information regarding that with the Bad Batch coming out, which is another Star Wars animation series.
The Bad Batch?
Yeah, it's starring clone troopers that were known as the Bad Batch.
Oh,
that's interesting because it sounds. I'm wondering if that's like anyway loosely related to the Karen Travis series.
It might be.
Release is February 21st next.
Yeah, 2021.
Yep, the Bad Batch, which leads into this next episode because now we're gonna jump into episode 2. Well, first, I was touching up on Bad Batch. I want to give a shout out to those who played the Frog Lady in episode 2. So the Frog Lady was voiced by, his name was D. Bradley Baker, and he's actually going to be in the Bad Batch doing the voices. He was in Star Wars Detours, Star Wars Resistance, SpongeBob, Family Guy, American Dad, and Infinity Train. So he did the voice for the Frog Lady.
Oh, yeah.
Who was in the suit of the Frog Lady was Christy Rizas.
Yeah, she was the same one who did
Amy from Congo.
And she was also the body of the dude that Nick Nolte played. This I've Spoken guy. What the fuck's his name?
But
the engineer at the beginning.
Ugnaught, yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna jump into this by opening up this episode before we get into all the nope. The Jawa with the big gun, and he went with a joyride.
He was not a Jawa.
It doesn't matter. He went for a joyride.
He
was a Jawa. He was a renegade Jawa.
He's as in Force Awakens that on Jakku. It's not a Jawa though. It's something else.
Everyone thought it was a Jawa by the way he looked and was with a Jawa, but yeah.
It's the Walmart Jawa.
It's the Wish Jawa.
There we go.
Wish Jawa, yes.
That's the Wish Jawa.
Mm-hmm. But he took a joyride, and it was funny to see the child's reaction when he just looked at Mando. Was like, "Really, dude? That was overkill."
Yo,
Baby Yoda was an asshole in this episode.
Yo,
yes.
yo, he's the definition of the kid that you're just like, yo, I just like that was like parenting to the max. Where it was like,
Yeah, except your kid is like killing.
Oh my god, I love that. No, no.
He's like, how many did you eat?
Yeah.
He was eating them like Tic Tacs. He's like,
I like, at the end of the episode, just that one.
oh, what are you?
My son goes, stop eating the eggs. I was like, I know, right? Like, don't do it.
I mean, you feel so bad, but you're just laughing because you're just like, yo, like it's
Baby Yoda.
Yo, his
Baby Yoda gets away with murder. That's literally what it was.
And he will more, I think.
his savagery was shown at the end of the episode as they're all sitting in the cockpit, and he's looking at the mother of these eggs, and then he's like, looks at her, looks back.
Yeah, he's just eating everything. Like, even at the nope scene when he just grabs the spine and he's like, "Well, fuck it."
Yeah.
Just the whole next level.
The fact that he just started, he was like, "Oh, I can't have those," and just started waddling his little ass that way, and just and I'm looking, and I'm like, if that's an egg, all of those shits are eggs.
Yes. Where have I seen this before?
Yeah, like
oddly familiar.
Yeah.
I'm in danger. Like that's it.
I believe Sigourney Weaver was in the same situation.
I believe everything in those eggs wants to give your face a hug.
But how hype were you guys to see X-Wings?
Oh yeah, oh, that was great.
Like, even going back, like you like get two X-Wings to get pulled up, and you're just like,
I'm watching those X. I'm like, I'm waiting for the.
Was anyone hearing the Bad Boys, What You Gonna Do song?
Well,
you gotta bust a tail light.
No, seriously. What are you doing?
Yeah, that was great. That was great.
Space Donuts. But no, again, we get back.
I was waiting for some call signs.
But we get back into language.
They were basically Highway Patrol. That's really what they were.
Essentially, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You're on the wrong side of the galaxy, bro. You can't even see my face. Stop trying to play me.
You want to tell me how fast you were going?
We gotta run him.
Before your signal light was turned on. What's up? What's going on? You not
Yo, I love how they said, hey partner, switch to channel 2. I was like,
oh shit.
Oh, yo.
Once they said that shit, even
I was like, hey, we're gonna see this. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting how it's like they both banked so that they could get a clear look at him.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I was like, that was interesting.
Yeah, I mean it's really something else when you see the X-Wings versus the TIE Fighters, because the TIE Fighters don't even give you the dignity. They just down.
The TIE Fighters just go to show how
like,
little the Empire cared about their.
Yo, seriously, the X-Wings are like, yo, come on, man. Come on, man. I don't want to do it. Don't make me do it, man. All right, I'm gonna tase you. You're gonna get tased.
Oh my god.
Yo, but we get back into language creation because again, they are fleshing out this universe that there are multiple languages, and it was just funny to see Wish Ripley talking to the reptile lady. Like, I was like, wait, what the fuck? Like, how do you learn that language?
Right.
If you played frog language,
yeah.
it was like. They're not even gonna give it a fucking sense.
And what it does is Mando's like, I don't speak frog.
He's like, I speak Tuscan Raider. I don't speak frog.
He named like 6 or 7 things.
Pop up some hutties.
He's like, I speak all the languages where I'm gonna have to deal with people.
Right.
Frog was not there.
If Pedro just threw in some Spanish or something.
So I'm gonna let you guys talk about all the nope in this episode because there's a reason why I'm not gonna touch this nope.
So you get what was the planet that they specified the planet that they were on that he got like wrecked on?
There is like in the Star Wars language, I forget the name of the Star Wars language, but there is a reference to where they might be, but I don't know if they've never confirmed what planet they're on. But the theory is that they're on the same planet in season 1 that blue dude played by Horatio Sands. It was like that ice planet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, if you think, I mean, he wasn't really jumping because he was driving local.
Yeah, local. Yeah,
he was driving the local way. Nothing.
He was like, I can't go to the hyperdrive. Are you serious right now, fam?
Serious?
No.
And that she had to pull out the microphone to tell him like, yo, you need to be bound by your honor.
Yo, the fact that he was like, yo, just like bunk up, go to sleep, get comfortable, wakes up to the microphone with the robot. He's like, what are you doing? You know that thing is deadly. Like he's like, yo, you know that thing can kill you. And she's like, I got this. I don't care. You got to get my babies to my baby daddy. Let's go. And I'm like,
yeah, because I was wondering why in flashback they referenced that. I'm like, okay, they're referencing that droid. Okay, what are they gonna do with it?
Right.
And when they did that, I was like, okay, that is good. That is cool.
I'm surprised he didn't just. Did he have a reason for keeping it?
I feel like he just keeps everything because you never know.
Yeah, you never know if you use an old droid.
Hashtag Mando Hoarder.
Pretty much.
This is the way.
Yes.
But the fact that she like gets up and the baby the whole time is just like, and he's like, what? She left? He's like I can't wait for the baby's first words. Like I'm going to lose my
baby will be dead. If Baby Yoda is 50 years old, he will be speaking to he's 100.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's right. Right. It's so weird. Oh man.
So what was Yoda like? What is he like? 8 or 900? I forget.
I think Yoda dies when he's like 8 or 9. Yeah.
Like 900 years old.
He's like elf years. Yeah. You know, like elf years. Like
hashtag space elves.
Even in the new book series, like he's like 400. Because they're showing him as a younger Jedi Master.
Wait, which book series is this?
The New Republic or the High Republic era that they're doing. Yeah, they're doing because they never really they really touch more on the Old Republic because the Old Republic is pretty dope.
I've been avoiding some of the books mainly because I have so many of the original books, and I'm like, I'm just trying not to hoard too much anymore.
There's so many. I don't do it anymore. I read the ones that I liked. I was like, if they did a whole series on Rule of Two and just did all of the Darths from Darth Bane all the way, like all the apprentices and how they just killed their masters. I'm like, yep, that's a book series I'm going to read.
Also, speaking of apprentices, they got rid of the Unleashed game as canon, right?
The new one that just came out?
Remember the old Force Unleashed one?
Oh, Force Unleashed. I don't.
Is Starkiller like no longer canon?
Well, I don't know. It's kind of like iffy. But interesting Easter egg in episode 1. He was in it. Sam Witwer was one of the guys like hauling.
He was. I did see that in the IMDb, which is why it came to mind. I was like, I wonder if Starkiller ever gets mentioned as like a thing.
I don't think it's.
I don't know. I don't think they're gonna make it a canon. But how did you guys feel about the little call like homage to Aliens with the eggs?
Oh, it was great. The minute you see it,
that was good. Yeah, you know what was up.
let's open the scene with that she woke up. Like you walk into this like cave and she's in the hot tub essentially. She's in a glorified like hot springs like tub, just like. Oh, la la, me and my baby. He's like,
what kind of bullshit is that? It's like you're in this life or death situation. You're gonna go to the spa.
She's like, I'm not fixing this ship. I mean,
although I wonder if she was laying more eggs, if that was why she did it.
Well, I think you know what it was. Remember, before she took the droid and used its translator, she pointed to the canister. So I think she was telling him that the eggs were getting cold.
Yeah.
Like she was like
trying to get them warm.
That she was running out of eggs.
And then that's I think why she took them to the hot spring. Luckily, allegedly found a hot spring that was there, plot armor.
But this is I have a
to keep the eggs warm.
Sorry, Tom. I have a good question for you guys. So Gregory has this question in terms of the show. Like he has not watched. Do you need to watch any of the movies before watching The Mandalorian?
Yes.
As if you want to get deep into the Star Wars lore, but you can actually just jump on and just enjoy it because it's just one of those shows that caters to new fans, but at the same time gives something for old fans to really enjoy if they love Star Wars lore.
It's that healthy mix of both where you get those nuggets, but you can enjoy the show from start to finish because it's not like they're just the main points are like the Empire. They may say Jedi here and there. They may say things like that, but the Mandalorian just is by itself beginning to end. I think it's a really good jumping off point, especially for people who don't like the space opera drama of Star Wars, but they want to watch like something that's fun and science fiction-y. The Mandalorian really hits those points, especially with like those Western nods.
Yeah. Yes. I agree. I didn't grow up on Star Wars, and I just started watching it a little bit because of my son and Mandalorian. So like, I don't have all the complete facts, but yeah, definitely it keeps you engaged 100%.
Well, if you didn't, it's like you're discovering the Star Wars lore with the Mandalorian because even he doesn't know what all that stuff is. So, but like I was gonna say with Greg, we will test you next time we see you.
And for those who don't know, check out Greg Long on the next show. But it's a great jumping on point because even like Jess, she wasn't a big Star Wars head, and then she's watching the show and she's enjoying it. Again, it is a good jumping on point, and I think again this show has it's a good medium where it appeases old fans and it appeases the new fans, merges everyone together, and gives you something new that we can all enjoy.
Yeah, and I like how it explains what you need to know to understand what's going on.
Right.
Now we're all going to dress as Mandalorians now.
Listen, I just feel bad for the folks of you've got everyone who kind of started watching Star Wars and has been into it and brought down by all the nonsense, and then you get this breath of fresh air with Mandalorian and you're like, yeah, cool, this is what Star Wars could be. And then you have someone who's never really gone to the Star Wars movies and had to deal with all the arguments we've all had at some point in our lives, and you're like, oh, this is Star Wars? I want to watch all the movies. I want to start from the first one. And then
don't.
So the Mandalorian is
painful.
No, but the Mandalorian is just really good. It's just really well done, and there's a lot of love for the source material and for the world, and it does its best to stray away from that whole Skywalker thing that the Star Wars movies are just essentially about.
Right.
And even I'm kind of tired with the Skywalker, so I'm happy to see stuff that's not part of that at all.
Yeah, because it's such a vast universe.
Oh no, I always found the Star Wars universe more interesting than the movies and stuff. What I used to say to my friends is Star Wars is a very rated R world if you really think about it, and it is much more interesting than what you've seen with the Skywalkers and stuff like that. I just love that's why I love the novels more than the legacy novels.
Right.
You get
Star Wars more than the Skywalkers.
Yeah.
George is good.
He, give him props for what he did. I have strong opinions about him, but I like the fact that you get with the novels, you get good storytellers who make some really interesting tales in this world, and that's what I was disappointed with the whole non-canonizing thing, but now with Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, I'm like, okay, thank you. I'm back in.
Well, let's talk about this. We're going to talk about this final thing we're going to go over is the big nope of the series. I appreciated the big nope of this episode because it was actually something.
The massive amount of little babies and the creatures, or the one big guy.
You mean the fungus spiders?
The whole thing. The whole thing.
It's just nightmare. It's just a nightmare for Sebastian. That's all that is.
Well, would you rather, real talk, would you rather the group of little ones and medium-sized ones creeping up on you, or the one big one that's 3-4 times as big as your ship?
The little one.
I'd rather none of them.
One.
None of them. Fuck that shit.
Do I have a weapon? If I have weapons, then I'll take the big one.
I don't want any of them. one can eat you, and then one can eat you whole, and then all of them, if they gang up on you, they're eating little parts of you. Like, no.
Oh, man, it's like the compies from Jurassic Park, man.
Yeah, you could potentially, you have a chance against a T-Rex. You don't have a chance against raptors, and with the compies, you're boned.
Raptors are a whole nother level.
That's
those pack tactics, man.
Lou, back me up here. Back me up here. This is all notes.
I mean, yes. I mean, at the end of the day, I would actually, if I had a pistol on me, I would take the little ones.
No, did you run out of bullets?
Yeah. Well, not if it's a laser. I'm not running out of lasers.
No, but you can still run out of juice. That's what I'm saying. With the big one, a couple of shots, it's done.
Well, in my Star Wars world, running out.
So by show of hands, we'll ask the audience, to comment below. But by show of hands, are you taking the big one?
I ain't taking none. I'm taking none of them.
You guys are going little guys?
The big one was taken out by the X-Wing.
That's because he didn't see them. If he saw them, he was about to have X-Wing food. He's like, oh, there's more food here. Let me go eat that. I'm going to suck him up with that sucker.
Listen. That spider thing was scary. But of all the Star Wars monsters I've seen, those fucking Star Wars monsters that Han Solo had in his goddamn ship, I ain't fucking with those.
Which, the Minox?
Yeah. The ones that you have locked up in the cells.
Oh,
yeah. No.
Supernova.
That's like a spinning a spinning top of death. Like, that's what that was. All those red shirts were just getting eaten up. It was just terrible.
But I do appreciate the fact that this creature design was an original design for Empire Strikes Back that did not get used, which again is a callback to the original series, which was pretty dope.
Supposed to be on Dagobah.
I was gonna say, what are the odds? What are the odds that they're like on Hoth?
I think it's strong. I think they were on Hoth. They just never mentioned it.
I was gonna say, like, is it out of the realm of possibility? Giant ice planet. We just didn't see any other creatures that would confirm, but they never.
I think the
Let's be real
with those spiders is like, the guy who created it. He's like they're fungus spiders. So it's anything that has like a moist, dark environment. Cold could be too, but I mean,
like the spring.
They could be on Hoth. They could be anywhere that really wants, really.
Listen, he was told to take the Cross Bronx. What happened is that he took the Cross Bronx, got stuck in traffic. He ended up in Yonkers during the winter time. That's what happened.
Just a bad time overall.
Oh my goodness!
His tire went. He got stuck. Yeah.
Am I the only one who's not originally from the Bronx here?
No, you a Queens boy.
No, I'm originally born in Harlem, raised in the Lower East Side in Brooklyn. So.
All right, I spent a lot of time in the Bronx. I am practically a resident, but not completely. But I just figured I'd ask.
You're from Queens?
Yeah, born and raised.
Oh, so you've got like the 67th Street on 67th Avenue on 67th Court?
Not that far. I can see the Bronx in my window.
Okay.
Like, I remember growing up, I'm like, why is it that we don't have a way to get to the Bronx? I got to go all the way to Flushing to get to the Bronx when I can just see it right here.
Right there.
Okay. I'm with you with that. So we're coming up to the end of the episode. So what I want is to get everyone's feedback of how you guys have felt about so far these first 2 episodes of The Mandalorian.
And what you guys are thinking about going into it, because we still have that same passenger and those same babies going into the next episode.
Yeah.
That's if we still have them same babies going into the next episode.
We'll start from Lou, work our way around the horn.
I'm liking where it's going. I really just love the Yoda relationship. I think that's like my favorite part of the whole series. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of facts that I don't have that I'm learning a lot from you guys. Literally, I'm like writing a lot of this shit down. I'm like, I didn't even catch that. Hold on. So like, and it's for me, it's really a thing to watch with my son. He loves it. I didn't grow up liking it, so I'm really jumping into it because of him. So I love it. Jon Favreau does his thing, so I can't complain.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Alex.
Yo, I'm sold. I'm excited. I've got so much speculation. I'm just trying to see what threads I can pull to find out more. I'm waiting to see because they've been dropping so many hints about clones and Camino. Something's gonna go on, and I'm just hoping I get to see clone Mandalorians.
Okay.
Cool.
So, what you got for us?
Oh man, I'm all like everyone said. I'm all in. I like I'm happy that they're doing I like the adventure of the day, but I like that they're doing adventure of the day with the interweaving storyline. So I felt like we didn't really get that from the first season, where that first middle chunk of the season, it was literally adventure of the day going to multiple places, and so we got to the last 3 episodes where everything kind of started to tie together. Where here it feels like they've got their things, but there's a story, and that main story is finding other Mandalorians to get the child to its homeworld. And so we're kind of seeing them go through that with the highs and lows of whatever we see in that 45 minutes to an hour. And then the fact that the show is 45 minutes to an hour every episode, I think, is much better than that 30-minute shit we got last year.
Yeah.
That was really killing me. But I'm super excited. I really can't wait. And obviously more Giancarlo Esposito, because can't have enough.
Yes.
I'm here for all of it. Like these guys said, I'm loving the theories. Like Alex, I don't want to dig too deep, because I don't want to become that person who's oh, why didn't they do this? I'm just gonna take it for what it is, enjoy it, be surprised, and honestly, Jon Favreau at this point can do no wrong. Do absolutely no wrong right now. I'm here for all of it,
except Lion King.
Listen,
talk about Lion.
You're allowed one, and to be fair, if Lion King was his only one,
I'm just gonna sit here and drink my water.
I'm just trying to think of anything that Jon Favreau did that I did not like, because I didn't see Lion King.
It's very rare. It's very rare.
In all seriousness, it's very fair. He did Iron Man 2 and 1. I don't think he did 3.
So
I don't think he did.
2 is a bit of a lame duck. If you compare anything, I loved 1. Iron Man 1 is just
that was
a foundation.
All right.
Two's fun.
Seabass, take us out.
I'm going to take you guys out, but first of all, what we want to do right now is that we got 2 great gentlemen here who I want to help plug their stuff. So we're going to start with Lu-Cyph first. Lu, again, tell everyone about the album.
Stuff,
please tell them.
Yes, no. Please go out, check out the album, The Agenda by Lu-Cyph. You can find it on all your streaming platforms. Please enjoy it, and definitely be safe, y'all.
Link is in the description. Alex, hit us with what you guys are working on, the Kickstarter. Please go ahead.
Yeah, no, please give us whatever support you can. If you can't throw some money down, please share it. We have this sneaking suspicion that social media will not share our stuff for free, and we rely on our fans and friends. Definitely share it if you can. Throw some cash if you got it. And if you want to see anything cool, hit us up on social media. Hit us up through the Kickstarter. If you want to see me do any custom artwork, put that in there too. And if you want this Yoda that Disney has given me a cease and desist for, hit me up on my.
So, okay.
Oh man, I love it.
Nice.
So for Baby Yoda, hit up Alex for his Baby Yoda designs. Make sure you guys check out the Kickstarter for the Ascendant issue number 4. Again, they have some push goals that are up there for all new Kickstarter backers. Again, we want to thank everyone who came on the feed today to watch us talk about the Mandalorian. So every Tuesday, we're going to be here doing recap episodes, but Nerds Around will be live on Tuesdays. New recorded episodes will drop every Friday. Every Saturday, make sure you also look up on your favorite podcast apps such as Anchor and Spotify for the Medusa's Cascade, the and Beyond D&D podcast put together by me, Tony, Law, everyone the Beyond team, Tommy. Give a shout out to everybody.
Tommy, the engineer, the madman, the DM, the engineer, the brains of this outfit.
So this has been your boy Sebastian.
It's your boy Law.
And your boy Tone from across the hall.
And everyone have a beautiful night and stay nerdy.
Yeah.